Hey YouTubes, how's everyone's? It's hotter than hell out here in Tennessee, I don't mind to tell you. What are we doing? Hey, y'all want to know how to change the brakes on a 2011 Ford Fiesta? You do? Great. Guess what we're going to do today? We're going to go ahead and change those brakes. I know. You already saw the video. We said we checked the armor on it and said it was fine. And technically they are. Technically. But they're kind of at the point that, I don't want to waste too much time and muck up my rotors. Y'all ever had to have your rotors changed or turned? It ain't cheap. We had ours replaced last time. So, we just went ahead and ordered some new brakes. Now, I had a little bit of muckery go on with that because we ordered brakes and got the wrong ones. Had to send them back. Got the new pads in today, and no, actually, I'm not going to get my hands dirty today. We're going to have the Prince do that. So, we're going to flip the camera around here in just a second, and I'm going to go over a couple of things, and then we're going to get to changing the pads on a 2011 Ford Fiesta. So let's flip her around, okay? All right, so the first thing we're going to say, and I know this may seem stupid, but there are some people that actually don't know this. Before you jack up the car, you want to loosen up the lug nuts first while it's still on the ground. Yeah, I know. Stop laughing back there in the back. There are some people that don't know that. They jack their car up, they try to loosen the lug nuts and can't figure out why the tire's still spinning. So, do that first. Make sure you chalk the wheels, okay? See those little things right there? That's called a chalk. You want to do that so that the car can't actually roll back. Then you crank her up, which she is. She's up pretty high. Jack stands underneath. I said this before in my last one. See that sucker right there? Spend you the money. Go get you one of them bad boys. They're fabulous. All right, so you all already saw how to take all the things off. So we have done that. So now we're going to go back to, taking off the wheels and all that stuff.
Yeah, we're going to show them off.
So we're taking that little thingamaboober off. That's a technical term.
That's the bleeder cap.
Which it was really hard to get it off the first time.
Well, without cutting your finger. There we go.
Okay, now when you get that off, turn around real quick. Put your hands out. Hey, we're going to show you guys a little tip. Y'all want a tip? You know how when it's really hot, you're working with gloves on, and you got to take your gloves off, you can't get your gloves back on again? Well, here's a little trick. He's got mechanic gloves on underneath. Why is he putting, actually they're polythene, gloves over the top of that? One, because, you can't wash those mechanic gloves. It doesn't work really well. But when it gets really greasy and you need to change it, you just take those off. You don't have sweaty hands. You can put a clean pair right over your mechanic's gloves, and bada bing, bada boom. There you go. Tip of the day. All right, back to the brakes.
Knock everything out.
I am
11mm wrench.
11 millimeter.
You want to break this thing loose before, so you're not trying to do that in your hands. It's hard
when
to do
this comes off.
If it's really in there tight. So now it's broke loose.
Okay.
And then you just snug it back up a little bit. No worrying. So it's ready to go. All right. Now we're just going to, we've already looked at everything. Everything's good. We're just changing the pads. So we're just going to take the caliper out here. So 12mm wrench. Remember, lefty loosey. So if we were going this way, that would be to tighten it. So since we're coming this way, that's the way to loosen it.
So
now I've already broke them loose.
Yeah, looking at it this way, you're actually going to the right.
So they're already,
okay. I
broke them loose a few minutes ago, but you may have to struggle with them a little bit. It's not usually anything too bad, but.
And again, we're talking about the 5-gallon bucket up underneath here. 2 reasons. It's a really good tabletop. Mostly the reason is we're going to take that and lay it on top of that so that it's not just swinging. That's what he said.
Clean these bolts off just a little bit, just because I like to clean stuff.
He does. He does not like to work in a dirty environment.
Yeah.
Y'all take that and do that with what you will. So now this is going to slide off. So we're not taking the whole thing off. Last time we took the whole thing off. And then
this is the reason for the bucket, so that you're not
set it right there,
tearing the hoses up. Now we're going to be changing these, just not today. Stainless steel braided we have coming, but
That will be another video for another day. So now
we have upgraded. Forgot the Stop Tech maybe rotor.
the last time we
They're
did
still
our
in good
brakes.
shape.
So you can
Here's
see
our
the
pads.
pads. Well, you can see his hand. Now you can see the pads. There's
we're still right at 4 millimeters, so there's you don't have to change them till really 1.5 to 2. We aim for 2 just to be on the safe side, but
there you go.
That's those. Let's go over here. We'll show you what the new ones look like. So I figured just get one.
And what brakes are these?
These are the same as these. These are EBS. I think these were greens. Yeah, these are EBS greens. These are upgraded EBS yellows, and they're semi-metallic. So look at the difference.
Yeah.
So it's time to change them, but I mean, we could still go out of here, but why bother? Why wait? Now, you do have to put the shims on them. These just come, you peel them off, you know, the glue or the sticky back off of them, put them on there, and that's just so that they don't squeak. They get pressed evenly by the piston. So, all right. So we're gonna leave that for now because we're gonna go clean all this stuff. I've done that side already. This side, we're just gonna take all the crap off. Do that. Now these are your, I forgot what they call them, but these are your guides for the piston, for the calipers. They just keep it whatever. We're gonna take those out and grease them up. They just slide right out.
So the rubber stays, and
the rubber's going to come, but I take them. It's easier.
And that just pulls off.
Yeah, so that's gonna go right there. We're gonna clean those up and grease them some more. Oh, that's not torn. And it's not. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so it's in good shape. Now, one of these has a little plastic tip on the end. I have no clue what it's for, but they all do. Sometimes it's on the top. Ours are on the bottom, so that's where we're going to keep it, on the bottom. If you compare the two, see?
Huh?
I don't know why, but they do. So that was the bottom one. So, all right. Take these over there and we'll clean these up. This has been degreased. So we're just, these things aren't really needing the cleaning. Take everything out.
Do you want this bucket? Or the bowl, whatever. So that's what he's taken out. Those are the clips that hold on the brake. I'm pretty sure the pads.
I'll give these to you so I'm messing up. Just hand me one of them.
Because I have two hands.
Yeah. Alright, we're just going to wipe these off. Bottom one. We're not going to clean that out too much because we're just going to want grease in there. Stay there.
Does what it wants. What is that?
Grease. For everything, just I'm gonna stick that in there.
Is there a reason it's red?
Because I like red. It comes in all different colors, blue.
You like
black. I like red so you can see it. You know, the stuff that you're sticking on versus the old stuff.
So you're just filling that little thing up?
I'm not really filling it. I'm just putting it on one side. I don't want too awful much in there. Oops. I don't think you get too much in here, but I think if you get too much, these things will push off when they get pressure on them and pop the little seal off of there. So not too much on there. Or in there. Actually, it's not so much on here, but we're going to put a little bit in the holes just to grease it up just a little bit. I'm going to put just a little bit in there.
So you're actually putting it
In the holes.
in the hole.
And I'm about to drop this because my hands are slick.
I have a feeling I'm going to get some dirty comments from this video. And
We'll go put that. We'll put those back on, and then we'll clean the other stuff because I'm about ready for the flush. The bottom one was
with the plastic.
you have to put the plastic in first because otherwise it'll be really difficult to get these to snap in. With all the grease on my fingers. Find out if I put it in the right direction. Grease on the outside really. you're just making sure these are smooth. You don't feel them dragging a whole lot. Okay.
Glove change.
Sweaty, kind of, because they're just sweating off of my hands, but the gloves are dry. So. I did a little bit of this, I believe, the last time. So
They're not very dirty.
That's pretty dirty. That's just brake dust. Grooves there, because that's where the pads are going to be sliding. You have one here, one here, one there, one there. So you want those to be really clean, and we're going to lube those up with a little bit of grease also, because that's where the pads are going to slide in out of, and we want them to slide nice and easy. First, and then we'll come back and put the rest of the lube on after the glove change.
So now we're going to clean the clips that hold the pads in.
You can buy all this stuff new. It's pretty inexpensive. It's cheap actually, but except that you have to run to the store. And these are just fine, so we don't really need to spend the $10 or so. I think it's about what it costs, but
That's one of my frogs. Sounds like a turkey collar, doesn't it? That's my frog that lives in our little fountain, our little lion fountain up front.
He's probably in that bricks. I see one that's hiding in the brick pile there all the time. That would be my guess.
He's loud. Sounds like a turkey collar. Wonder if I could get him to talk to me.
Probably got his head sticking halfway out.
I'll see him.
Well, you have to look down in the hole, and he's usually in one of those near the top. Okay, close enough.
Hello, Woo.
He's in there.
So we think he's in the bricks. I don't know where he is in the bricks because I can't see him. But he's somewhere in there. Rock on, little frog, rock on. All right, changing gloves and back to this. All right, now what are you doing?
This is the reason that you loosen this up, because you're gonna have to use this. We have to push the piston back in. But there's my brake. Before we can put our pads back in, we have to push the piston back in, and that's under a lot of hydraulic pressure. So we're going to open up the bleed screw here.
11 millimeter.
11 millimeter. Sit there. First thing we're going to do is set this thing up. We're going to use the old brake pad. We're going to stick it in there like that, and then using a clamp. They make a special tool for this, but you don't really need it. It's probably not terribly expensive, but we're gonna stick that on like that. And we're just going to clamp that down. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna open that bleed screw, and that stuff, when I squeeze this, is gonna squirt fluid out here. Hopefully we're gonna hit this.
And we'll try to get out of the way and still get the shot at the same time. Money shot. I know. There's just too much innuendo in this video. Well, that was a sad money shot. Okay, so he's squeezing on it. There we go. Now what is this doing?
It's pushing the piston back in.
Oh, okay. That's gross.
So see now, see where the piston's all the way back in, so we can put the calipers in there. Because before, they were probably out like this.
Okay.
Put the new ones in, they won't fit around the rotor. So the piston's all, it was out here, now it's all the way seated.
Anyway.
But that's the reason that you loosen this in the first place, because you're going to have to do that. And if this was on really tight, you'd have to be holding, trying to. It's much easier if you do it that way.
So can this get moved?
Yeah.
We'll pause. And wait, and we're back. Okay.
Disc off now. we're just sticking a little bit of grease. In each of the little grooves there. And these just basically fine. You want to make sure that these things are flat in there. And they are. And then same thing with this thing. Just goes back in. If you're not sure, you always take a picture beforehand, and you'll, if you forget, oh, okay. So like that. And then we're going to do same thing. We're just going to stick a little bit of grease, if I can. Paintbrush would really be the best for this, but I'm not doing that. Each of the 4 little slots.
Pause. Is there a left and right?
Well, yeah. I mean, you want it to follow the curve. So it goes in like this. Actually, I should do the other side first. Do the inside so you can see what you're doing beforehand. Like that. These are the shims I was talking about. If they come without it, these are just sticky backed. You put them on so that basically when they go on, the piston is pushing on this rather than the pad itself. If you don't put them on, it really won't do anything, but it'll probably make a lot more noise. Not to get too much crap on the inside of the pad.
See how they fit in the slots?
Paper towel.
That's what those things were for. So they should fit flush in there like that. Big difference.
Okay, now we're going to clean the rotor off again because I got a little bit of grease on it.
All right, we'll pause for that. You've seen it a million times.
Ready?
Yep.
All right, put the caliper back on. Got your 2 screws that are going to line up with those things. You
just slides over.
Push those in because the calipers are...
Those are the screws he's talking about. I had to push those back in to get that to line up.
We have our 12 millimeter, which I wiped off beforehand. Started, and we just want to start these and then do a little bit on each side. I don't want to just drive one all the way in because they're, you just do finger because they're seating. That one looks like it popped a little. It did. hold. You may have to hold that seat in as your finger tightening that in, because sometimes the pressure wants to pop that thing out. It only seems on the top one. I don't know why that is, but it does. So we got them. Finger tight. Finger tight. Okay. And we're just going to make sure our not gorillaed. It's just so that it doesn't move. And then our 12s, we're going to just a little bit on each one until they're finger tight. So that's tight. And these get torqued to 20 foot-pound. Actually, it's pound-feet, but meantime, well, no, we're not quite done yet. We'll torque those on.
Pause.
20 foot-pounds or 240 inch-pounds. That's one. There we go. All right, last little thing is we have to gravity bleed that just to make sure there's no air in the line. Paper towel, put it underneath there. So that it's somewhat clean.
Put the bowl back underneath there.
And this is just going to bubble out. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to open this, and you're going to see like little air bubbles and fluid coming out. We just want to let the air bubbles stop coming out. That one's pretty good already. Don't really see anything. Okay, tighten it back in. Before we're finished, I'm gonna make sure there's still fluid. I topped off the master cylinder up there because I knew there was going to be squirting out here. But we'll make sure that there's stuff in there and that this isn't just doing that because there's no fluid.
All right, so we'll be right back. All right, let's put the wheel back on, as filthy as it is.
So now we can clean out the wheel.
Yeah, well,
But
that's fine.
no, I'm not saying do it.
Oh, I'm not doing it now.
It would be.
Little metal bowls. What did we tell you about those?
Actually, you forgot to do one thing. I thought I put it on.
No, you did not. Got to put that thing back on.
Yeah, you could do it with the wheel on, but it's much easier. It's bad enough. Put the little boot on.
Boot is back on.
It's much easier to do with the wheel off.
As we talked about the figure 8 motion.
This is a 4, so it's just a start.
Because we talked about crisscross applesauce. So you guys get to watch him do the wheel again.
You hand me the breaker bar back on.
That would be a breaker bar.
And the
You didn't ask for the torque wrench. And the torque wrench.
I'm not really ready for it.
Torque wrench.
I need that.
Breaker bar.
That's kind of
Who you calling Ratchet? Might have been calling me ratchet. I don't know. I love that my camper can flip now.
It's not going backwards.
Well, the camera's mirrors and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's gotta be.
There is not.
Yeah.
All right, anybody that knows whether or not you can unmirror a camera lens on a Samsung S10e, put it in the comments below. Pretty sure it can't be done.
I can't see Samsung being that dumb.
Simply because I've already looked in all the settings, but that's okay. Y'all put your comments in. Let me know if I can unmirror the camera lens. Actually going to take the jack stands out first.
Well, I'm going to jack it up, and then we got to pull the jack stands out, and then we got to lower the car.
Okay, we're not going to videotape that part. Now that the car is back down on the ground where she belongs. And what are these being torqued to?
100 pound-feet.
100 pound-feet. So this one beeps.
Yeah.
There's the beep. Good.
Pump up the brake pedal.
Pump up the volume. That's how you change the brakes on a 2014 Ford Fiesta.
This is a very important part right here.
SES.
Is got to make sure that we have a firm brake pad.
He's gonna go put his foot on my brake pedal.
You can see it's very mushy, but you pump it up, and we're seating those calipers too.
Okay. So it starts out mushy, and then when you're done, it should be hard. Is it hard yet?
Now we gotta check the
I think he's checking the brake fluid.
man, it's right where it should be.
Okay, so now what gets done is, what is it, the next 200 miles?
Yeah, you got brake in.
The next 200 miles, we do a break-in, which basically means don't be riding anybody's butt and don't be slamming on your brakes. Okay?
Drive quick, no
Okay.
real super hard braking unless you know.
None of that stuff. And then after the 200 miles is when the fun part comes. Now, I'm going to tell you what we're going to do, but we're probably going to videotape it. Just for shits and giggles, because it'll be fun. So what comes after the 200 miles?
Well, you find an empty parking lot or an empty road, and you have to do, I'll have to look it up. I don't remember if it's 20 or 35 starting, but you start like at 20 miles an hour, and then you brake very hard, not locking up the anti-lock brake.
Brake check!
Like that, but brake check real hard. Then you go up to 30 miles an hour, do the same thing.
Brake check!
Then 40, 50, and 60. And if everything does the way it's supposed to, it brakes hard and, you know, controllable, the pads are bedded in and you're ready to race.
We're definitely videotaping that. That'll be fun. Although, I'm not real sure we can make it to 60 miles an hour in a church parking lot. we might have to go down frontage. Rallied a little bit. All right, well, that's going to end this video because it's super long, but hey, look it, we're not going to fast forward this stuff because you need to know how long it's going to take, and it's going to take a hot minute for you to change your brakes. So hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because you're already there. Give me a thumbs up because y'all, you know, you want to. Go ahead and hit that bell notification. You want to make sure that you don't miss anything that goes wrong, and don't forget to comment because the new algorithm, man, if you don't comment on my videos, they're gonna get lost in the abyss. All right, y'all know the rules. You stay out of trouble now. If you can't, don't get caught. Till then, you stay safe, stay clean, and have a perfect day. Love you, bye.